guys, welcome to Staying Salty. If you haven't been here before, my name is Miranda, and this week we're going to be talking about how to deal with CF in public.
I got cystic fibrosis. See, I've got cystic fibrosis.
So for the most part, CF is an invisible disease, so people that see you every day on the street aren't going to know that you're sick. But there are certain times that we can't exactly hide that we are sick, whether it's downing pills in the middle of a restaurant, or dragging around IV equipment, or having random or just excruciating coughing fits at the gym or in a movie theater or in a grocery store or in the middle of class, wherever. There are certain tells that let everybody know, hey, I'm not a healthy person. And if people don't understand it, it can often lead to some either really awkward encounters or some really rude remarks. So for me personally, there are a couple of times that I feel uncomfortable, and they usually only have to do when I have to cough up mucus. I'm totally fine with taking the pills. I'm totally fine with hooking up my IV at a hibachi table, but I'm not comfortable having to cough up mucus in the middle of a gym in a water bottle. Or whenever I was younger and I was playing sports or at dancing, or when I was teaching Zumba, there were just certain times where I didn't feel comfortable at all, and I would just suck it up and swallow it, or just kind of suppress my coughing, which isn't good. But mucus is where I have the most awkwardness within myself. Now when it comes to words from other people or just actions or whatever, it's depending on the situation, depends on how you narrate it and how you go about it. So last week I was taking a bus to Orlando to see Kelsey, and I had a pretty big coughing fit. It wasn't one that was too pretty, and the poor girl next to me didn't speak English, and so I couldn't exactly explain to her my situation, and so the bus was packed, and she kind of scooted over as far as she possibly could from me without falling into the aisle of the bus. And then as soon as somebody got off, she ran into their seat. I don't think she could run fast enough. You have to just try not to take those kinds of things personally, because think of it, if you were in their shoes, she doesn't know if I had some super contagious something that she could have caught. So I don't blame her. It made me kind of feel bad for a second, but then at the same time, I understand. I mean, if it was switched around, I would have run too, because I don't want to get sick. And most of the time I would explain to the person, like, hey, I have cystic fibrosis, like, it's okay, like, if you're uncomfortable, like, I'm really sorry, but I can't help this, but you're not going to catch anything. But in that circumstance, I couldn't. Another really awkward encounter I had with other people, it kind of made everybody uncomfortable. So when I mentioned hooking up an IV at a hibachi table, I have done that before. And my mom and I went to eat lunch, and the whole table was full, but I had to hook up, and we were going to be there for at least another hour, so I just had to do it. So I backed away from the table, cleaned everything around me, and just hooked up right there. I was totally fine with it, but there was another girl who was actually disabled in her own right. And physically, you could tell she was disabled. And she wouldn't stop staring. And it was the kind of stare that would just make anybody uncomfortable, even if they weren't doing the thing that I was doing. And so I kind of just avoided eye contact, and then finished what I was doing, scooted back up to the table, and then while we were eating, had to listen to the rest of the table gossip about me, which was pretty awkward. I mean, I was totally fine in my own little bubble doing what I had to do and eating really good food. I could have gone into the bathroom, but I just, in the moment I didn't. I just wanted to eat and do that at the same time, and the bathroom was kind of far away. So that's what I did, and I sucked it up and I thought like in that moment I could try to explain everything, but I don't know why I didn't that time. I didn't explain anything. I kind of just let them think what they were going to think, because it wasn't really my job to have to explain myself, because there are certain situations, or just if you don't want to, you don't have to explain your situation. You don't have to explain you have CF. You don't owe those people anything. If they're going to say something, or if they're going to look at you strange, or if they're going to run away, you don't owe that to them, because you're just living your own little life in your sick bubble. But the sick bubble's kind of out into the world, so whenever my friends, for the most part, in the awkward encounters like that, when I'm with them, help a lot, and they'll either help me explain things or kind of just make it seem like it's no big deal so no one else thinks it's a big deal. And then there's comments that I'll just get because people think I'm this really healthy person. And part of me is like, you have no idea, and then part of me just kind of lets them get their own frustration out. Like, this has happened numerous times when I've like held open the door for elderly people at the mall or the grocery store or whatever. They'll walk in and have to say some kind of remark about me being this healthy young person not needing help from anybody. And it can be really hurtful. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm not this healthy young person. And part of me wants to tell them, but then it's the same thing. Like, they need to get their own frustrations out. So I let the little old ladies complain all they have to and kind of just sit in my own little corner and think like, if you only knew. But that's just the thing with everybody. You don't know everybody's story. And so we can't really judge everybody. Whenever I see other people that are coughing a lot, they may be super sick. They may have something I can't catch. I don't know. I, grab the hand sanitizer, put on a Vogue mask, whatever I have to do. In that moment, I do it just to protect myself. And if people are really feeling uncomfortable around you, if you are able to confront them about it and you speak the same language or whatever, tell them just a little bit, if it would make the entire situation better for everybody. I wish I would have spoken out when I was at that restaurant with my mom and told those people. But I think I needed to go through that to learn that. And then there's the times that it's not really uncomfortable for you or the other people. It's just an uncomfortable time. Like, there's always that person that coughs in church, and there's always that person that coughs in a movie theater, and there's always that person that coughs like in the middle of a really important speech or in some kind of memorial thing where everyone has to take a moment of silence. There's either a baby crying or someone coughing. I'm always that someone that's coughing in all of those scenarios. And it just makes everyone stop and look, or just makes even a more uncomfortable silence, or I hate when that happens, and it happens to me all the time. It's like, I'm perfectly fine. I don't feel like I have to cough at all. The second there's some kind of quiet or something important is being said, I'm gonna be the one to start coughing. And it's not gonna be like a cough, it's gonna be like my face is beet red and I'm going into a hot sweat type of cough that lasts for 5 minutes. So, I mean, there's nothing you can really do in that moment except kind of just try to breathe and relish in the moment. With the pills, I mean, people are gonna think I'm either a druggie or, I don't know, whatever they think. It really doesn't faze me at all to take pills. It phases me when other people don't take pills, because I just think they're the strange people. So I don't really know what advice to give on the pill front other than just like do it and eat your food. Or like sometimes I'll like just spread it out all on the table, and other times I'll like hide it in my lap and like do it one by one. But yeah, just whatever makes you feel more comfortable. If you have to go into the bathroom to take your pills or to do whatever, do that. I'm still trying to figure out how to get more comfortable with mucus in public. I mean, I'm comfortable around it in front of my friends. I'm not really comfortable about it, like, out in public without my friends. Like, if I were to cough up mucus in that moment with that woman on the bus, I think she would have, like, pulled the lever and jumped out. Like, it was so awkward. You know, so it's also for that. And my brother hated whenever I would cough up mucus growing up. Like, literally would just, you know, talk about, how much he hated it and how uncomfortable it was for him. And so I think that's also instilled in me, because I don't want to make other people uncomfortable, but also I need to get it out. So it's a hard balance. So if any of you guys have any advice on that, please leave it in the comments down below. Also, in the comments down below, let me know any awkward encounters you guys have had, or advice for how to deal with those awkward encounters. Hit the thumbs up if you liked it, share it if you found this helpful. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to our channel already, and the notification bell so you can be notified every time we put up a new video. I am going to leave my social media accounts as well as the channels in the description down below. And until next time, remember to stay salty.